Good evening, I'm Ian Hannamansing. Tonight, the surge of sick patients as staffing levels plummet. Omicron deals hospitals a double blow.
It's an invisible war, and right now we feel like we're not winning.
The crisis unfolding in Canada's hospitals.
We really are at the brink.
And COVID comes crashing down on long-term care again.
It's really painful to see this happening again.
Quebec's bold new move to convince people to get the shot.
If you don't get vaccinated, stay home.
Also tonight,
the pain and scars from that day run deep.
Marking 1 year since the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol. And a little help for those slogging through virtual school from one of Canada's most famous ex-teachers.
It was the least I could do to try to add some levity to their day. Hello, grade 4s.
Mr. Dee logs on. This is The National. It didn't take long for Omicron to push COVID case counts to unprecedented levels, and now what's unprecedented is the number of COVID patients in Canada's hospitals. Just as tens of thousands of workers needed to care for them are off sick. COVID hospitalizations in this country hit record levels this week, surpassing every previous peak of the pandemic, and there's no sign of when this will stop. The pressure on ICUs is rising more gradually, but it has already surpassed the peak of the first wave and approaching levels seen last fall. More than 700 patients are critically ill, the majority at this point in Ontario and Quebec. And for now, Quebec may be facing the most challenging combination of sick healthcare staff and record COVID hospitalizations. But as Thomas Dagler shows us, it's a growing concern across the country.
With more patients being transferred from one hospital to another, the strain on Ontario healthcare is again reaching far beyond those with COVID.
The growing backlog of surgeries and procedures will result in unnecessary suffering and death.
The province is putting off all remaining surgeries considered non-urgent. Patients with procedures postponed taking to social media to say they've been waiting 6 months, 9 months, even 2 years, with now no appointment in sight.
That should give us 1,200 to 1,500 additional beds in which we can care for Ontarians if they need extra oxygen for a short period of time.
In Quebec, new projections suggest an unprecedented 3,400 patients could be hospitalized with COVID within 2 weeks.
It's an invisible war, and right now we feel like we're not winning.
With 20,000 healthcare workers now sick or isolating, the health ministry is warning it may run out of staff. Quebec hospitals are already operating at their highest alert level.
We're in a really critical phase, and you can't keep up a level 4 for a very long period of time without having some side effects from that.
Remote corners of the country are struggling too, like Nain, Labrador, an Inuit community of 1,100 where only a single nurse is left not in isolation. Sky-high absenteeism across the province is forcing the remaining hospital staff to fill the gaps.
It's hard to be able to take staff from one situation and put them in another situation because the need is dire in both.
24 Manitobans have died from COVID since the start of the year. Dozens are in the ICU with more expected. Winnipeg's mayor has a message for those oblivious to the surge.
I hear about people holding parties in their homes, like really just pretending like it's everything is just fine. It angers me to no end.
And Thomas, let's talk about the concerns hospitals have about the situation in the ICUs.
If you look at the average number of patients requiring intensive care because of COVID here in Ontario, right now it's at 252. That's a 40% jump from just a week ago, Ian. And in some hospitals, they're already being overwhelmed. And one health network in particular in southwestern Ontario, they're looking at critical care capacity already full. Every bed is taken. And the CEO of that health network told us today she fears what they're seeing there could be the case in every hospital across Ontario very soon.
All right, Thomas, thank you.
You're welcome.
Healthcare staff are feeling the brunt of this wave, pulling long hours, working overtime, and sometimes putting their own health at risk for their patients.
I'm home right now because I have caught COVID-19. I actually might have to go into work earlier than expected because of the staff shortages. As long as I'm wearing my PPEs and I'm able to walk and stand and care for patients, I'll be asked to go in. And sometimes, that makes you feel kind of like a robot.
We'll hear more from 3 nurses just ahead about what they're seeing and feeling right now on the front lines. At the beginning of the pandemic, COVID cut through long-term care homes with devastating effect. The stories and images that emerged were heartbreaking. Now the outbreaks are back. In Ontario, 4th doses are being rolled out to protect vulnerable residents. But as David Common explains, COVID-related staff shortages present a new danger.
94-year-old Bob Beggs is locked down, like thousands in nursing homes who spend their days largely alone as staff who care for them become infected.
As a family caregiver who's been through so much and see my parents suffer so much, it's really painful to see this happening again.
Vaccines are clearly protecting many seniors in care, though Bob's daughter Joanne knows many are still dying from COVID, 5 just yesterday. But she believes provincial officials are missing an even bigger impending disaster. As COVID infects workers in homes, staffing levels may plunge.
Accept or ask for military intervention. Let's get on top of this. Let's get extra supports before staffing collapses.
Nearly half of Ontario's nursing homes now have COVID inside, 55 staffers at this facility alone. Provincially, fewer than 900 staff were COVID positive on Monday, but as of Wednesday, the number jumped to 1,500.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And this researcher remembers well what autopsies and reports from previous waves showed. When staffing levels collapsed, seniors died from malnutrition and dehydration, not enough people to care for them.
We're going to see deaths, but from different causes.
She and many others want all care home staff wearing N95s all of the time.
The regular surgical masks aren't cutting it, and we know they're not cutting it. Look at the outbreaks.
But the minister says those masks are reserved for only after an infection is suspected.
Well, they are being used on the basis of what the chief medical officer said they need to be used, where you're dealing with patients that either have a suspected or an actual case.
Keeping staff from becoming infected is key, because losing them in such a vulnerable sector could have dire consequences again. David Common, CBC News, Toronto.
As Omicron spreads, affecting hospitals and long-term care, the focus in some provinces is on containment and those who haven't yet got the shot. Today, Quebec brought in some of the most strict restrictions in the country for unvaccinated people. And as Alison Northcott shows us, not being able to go to the liquor store could be just the beginning.
Critical care staff at this Montreal hospital are scrambling to keep up.
We are in an absolute war.
And this ICU doctor is urging people to get vaccinated because many of his COVID patients are not.
The kinds of people we're seeing get critically ill with COVID, which is now predominantly Omicron, are the unvaccinated.
Quebec's health minister says more than half of the province's COVID ICU patients are unvaccinated, even though they're just 10% of the population.
I'm just saying that if you don't want to get vaccinated, stay home.
So the province is expanding where you need proof of vaccination, barring unvaccinated people from liquor and cannabis stores.
Whatever means it takes for people to understand the gravity.
Dubé says if it weren't for those unvaccinated patients, Quebec's hospitals wouldn't be as stretched.
We didn't really hit the peak yet. So what's coming in the next week is actually quite scary.
The province is giving people until January 18th to prepare.
I think you should have a vaccine passport to get in everywhere.
I think it's a little discriminatory to the people who aren't vaccinated, so I'm not for it.
People who are unvaccinated could face further restrictions in the weeks ahead, as the provincial government says it plans to expand the vaccine passports to even more non-essential services.
It is a new burden that small businesses will have to face, and they are really fragile right now.
During the first wave lockdowns, Quebec liquor and cannabis stores stayed open as essential services. With the right support, the restrictions are manageable, says this advocate for people with addictions.
If you want alcohol and you can't and you don't have your vaccine passport, you can ask a friend to go. You can go to the grocery store.
The province plans to go even further, making proof of vaccination require not just 2, but 3 doses, but only once more Quebecers have had a chance to get that extra shot. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
Some of the now infamous Quebec influencers who partied on board that Sunwing flight to Cancun are back in Canada. About 15 passengers arrived on an Air Canada flight late last night. Some were detained for about 2 hours before being released. Those involved in the original flight could face thousands of dollars in fines. In a statement released this morning, the organizer said he was learning from his experience and that a plan to bring the entire group home fell apart after Sunwing refused to provide meals on the return flight. Tennis superstar Novak Djokovic is appealing a ban on entering Australia. The Serbian has been confined to a hotel since his medical exemption to the country's strict vaccination requirement was rejected on Wednesday. His family says their son is being persecuted.
Last 24 hours that they are keeping him as a prisoner. It's just not fair. It's not human.
A court hearing on his bid to stay in the country and still compete in the Australia Open is set for Monday. Well, let's turn to the U.S. Capitol tonight. Quiet and calm, a stark contrast to 1 year ago when violence and chaos engulfed the Capitol building as Donald Trump supporters attempted to block President Joe Biden's confirmation, shocking people around the world. Today, some U.S. lawmakers mark the first anniversary of the January 6th attack, calling for an end to the anger and division that continues to simmer a year after this.
We want Trump! We want Trump! We want Trump!
It was a stunning scene, hundreds of protesters forcing their way inside the Capitol building, overwhelming police and sending lawmakers fleeing. The ensuing chaos left at least 5 people dead, with more dying by suicide in the months to come. Our Washington correspondent Katie Simpson witnessed the attack firsthand, and tonight, as some Americans try to turn the page, she shows us what has changed and what hasn't.
Solemn reminders of the violence that nearly upended U.S. democracy hang over Capitol Hill. A quiet day, save for the heavy police presence and the few Americans wanting to mark this moment in person.
I'm still shaken. I'm standing here right now, and the emotions start to well back up.
The president walked through the same hallways invaded by rioters to give the nation an update on the state of democracy, acknowledging the scars run deep, admitting the danger is not over.
We must decide, what kind of nation are we going to be? Are we going to be a nation that accepts political violence as a norm?
In a speech that rallied his base and inflamed his opponents, Joe Biden forcefully attacked former President Donald Trump, laying out the facts proving the 2020 election was not stolen. That this reminder is even necessary is revealing. Democracy remains fractured, all, as Biden says, because of Trump.
His bruised ego matters more to him than our democracy or our Constitution. He can't accept he lost.
Democrats and some Republicans fear violence will be repeated after future elections, since millions of Americans swayed by Trump's so-called big lie now believe voting systems are corrupt.
Unfortunately, too many in my own party are embracing that former president, are looking the other way, are minimizing the danger. That's how democracies die.
But as long as Trump remains popular with the Republican base, expect sitting lawmakers to continue embracing that narrative.
We were trying to fortify our country against fraud that we're still very concerned about.
These Republicans say Biden is dividing the nation.
Congresswoman, do you take any personal responsibility to help spread the
There is a press conference at 2:15. There is a press conference.
Seemingly unconcerned, they are relying on a false claim to make their point.
There is a press conference.
In America right now, there's no agreed set of facts around the election or the Capitol riot. Whether Trump runs again or not, that may be his lasting impact on democracy. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
U.S. lawmakers also paid tribute to the many police officers who risked their lives that day, some still feeling the impact.
There really hasn't been an end to January 6th. So once accountability has been had, then you can start to heal, and then you can start to look forward.
A year out, and I'm just angry.
I mean, I went through the whole Rolodex of emotions. Now I'm just angry. And I would ask anybody who doubts the reality of January 6th to question your own motivations behind that.
Those sentiments also on the minds of lawmakers at a candlelight vigil on the Capitol steps tonight, which included a moment of silence for victims of the attack. Let's bring in CBC News senior correspondent Susan Ormiston. And Susan, until now, the president has been reluctant to speak too directly about his predecessor, but that sure changed today.
It did. I mean, Biden's speech was the most aggressive denunciation of the former president I've heard since the election campaign. It was almost as he'd stored it up over the year and decided this was the time to lay it out. His remarks were pointed, they were personal, saying that the former president's bruised ego was more important than the U.S. Constitution, and that Trump simply could not accept that he lost.
He's not just a former president, he's a defeated former president. Defeated by a margin of over 7 million of your votes in a full and free and fair election.
Biden's made a deliberate calculation here to remind Americans that the threat is still out there, that the lies he says have not abated. It wasn't a unifying speech, more like a warning, and really unlikely to persuade many of the thousands who were out here a year ago tonight.
It is a divided country, Susan, and we continue to see those divisions today.
Yeah, Republican lawmakers largely stayed away today, a protest really. You had Florida's governor, Ron DeSantis, saying that January 6th was like Christmas for the Democrats and the fawning media. You know, so much has changed in the year. I mean, I remember vividly a year ago tonight in that building, Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, a fan of Trump's, getting up and saying, "I'm done with him." Well, he isn't, and neither is the party. Trump is down in Florida, single-handedly choosing and funding potential candidates loyal to him to run in statewide elections and the critical midterms coming up later this year, Ian.
Thanks, Susan. Back in this country, a family new to Canada is sharing their story and their memories with us tonight after their daughter was killed tobogganing. As Judy Trin shows us, as they grieve, others are demanding action.
The Abiyassal family clings to their daughter's treasures, a violin, a floor hockey trophy. They're grappling with the unthinkable.
I didn't imagine that I will lose my daughter in Canada because of safety when she is just playing.
Just over a week ago, their youngest child, Jose Abiyassal, was fatally injured on a popular Ottawa toboggan hill. The family had just moved to Canada from Lebanon. This was her first time sledding. As he drove to the hospital, Jose's father tried to delay the inevitable.
I don't need to know what is coming. I am drives very slowly.
Jose's spine was severed when the sled she was on with her brother and cousin crashed backwards into a trio of metal signs. The day after she died, city crews pulled out all the posts and put out protective barriers, including hay bales. A sign at the top of the hill warns against tobogganing, but children have been flocking there for decades. One city councillor says sledding shouldn't be banned, but made safer at Mooney's Bay.
Particularly the west-facing slope, which is steep, and there may be recommendations on how to address that and make it less steep and less fast for tobogganers.
The family says Jose was a giving person. Before she died, she told her parents she wanted to donate her organs, and she has. The family must now find a way forward.
My heart is broken.
The city has put up electronic signs warning against tobogganing. It has stationed a bylaw officer here to ensure compliance. But perhaps the greatest deterrent is found at the bottom of the hill, a makeshift memorial mourning a child and her shattered family. Judy Trin, CBC News, Ottawa.
People across BC's south coast woke up to a very messy commute after heavy snow fell through the night again. Most schools in the region were closed and mail delivery was suspended. Freezing rain led to slippery streets and transit delays, and there could be more bitter cold on the way. This is just the latest extreme weather to come crashing down on parts of BC this year. And over the course of the last few months, people living and working in older buildings have found the infrastructure just isn't prepared for our changing planet. Here's Brady Strachan.
Came from that far corner, and from that corner flooded our entire unit.
It wasn't the way Rodney Hobson wanted to kick off the new year. A call in the middle of the night that his karate dojo was flooding.
I opened up the front door. We had about 4 inches of water across our entire facility, and started pouring out all over the road, all over the parking lot.
A prolonged cold snap caused pipes to freeze and rupture, sending water gushing.
It's pretty overwhelming in the moment.
His is one of hundreds of buildings affected by flooding during the cold spell that saw record-breaking temperatures across BC.
And this is where the plumbing comes out of the exterior wall and has an opportunity, and it's usually the high-risk area.
He says poorly insulated pipes are the main culprit. Everything from garden hose taps to fire suppression systems in attics.
This year we're seeing the burst pipes and the freeze up. The calls have just kept coming. So yeah, it's significant.
In Vancouver, many people living in older buildings find their heating systems don't cut it.
4 days without heat, so it was pretty darn cold.
Alexandria Brown was forced to stay with her brother to keep warm. Just a few months ago, she faced the extreme heat dome without air conditioning.
Going forward, I think we have to modernize and kind of adapt to our changing temperatures.
Climate researchers agree. Governments and property owners need to plan for extreme weather all year round.
We need to make sure that we're building homes and roads in ways that they're going to be resilient to the floods and wildfires and heat waves of tomorrow.
Back in Kelowna, karate continues in half the dojo while a restoration crew rips out the floor in the other half.
We're probably looking 4 months.
Part of the work will be improved insulation around piping to prepare for future extreme cold weather. Brady Strachan, CBC News, Kelowna, British Columbia.
Russian troops have moved into Kazakhstan to assist the crackdown on protesters.
Of course, it's a very worrying situation on a personal level, but then on the other hand, I'm also very worried about our sovereignty.
Up next, the deteriorating security situation and the families watching nervously from afar. Plus, with milder symptoms for most, many people are managing Omicron on their own.
Tea for my sore throat, and of course lots of water to keep me hydrated and to get rid of that virus.
Coming up, what you need to know to get through the virus at home, and a little later. School is back online for many students, and look who's dropping in.
How's the weather in Newfoundland today?
Gerry Dee is making guest appearances in classrooms across the country, and he'll make one here as well. We're back in 2. Violent clashes between protesters and security forces in Sudan have left at least 3 people dead. It comes as thousands once again took to the streets to protest the military takeover of the country in October. At least 60 people have been killed since the coup. And in Kazakhstan, dozens of protesters are dead, along with at least 18 members of security forces, as the government cracks down on growing demonstrations and, as you'll see, some violent scenes. As Chris Brown tells us, the authoritarian government is now getting some outside help.
With the internet out, it's hard to know what's really going on in Kazakhstan's largest city, Almaty. But the limited images, including of government buildings gutted and on fire, are grim. That's a protester's body lying in the street. Security forces fired automatic weapons with live ammunition, and the fear is civilian casualties could be very high. Kazakhs overseas who have relatives in the thick of it are fearful.
Of course, it's a very worrying situation on a personal level, but then on the other hand, I'm also very worried about our sovereignty and, in general about the political situation.
President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev called the protesters terrorists, but it appears many initially came out in anger over high gas prices. We're not terrorists. We participate in rallies, she said. Nonetheless, that's the justification the government used to summon Russian, Belarusian, and other soldiers who began flying in today.
The Tokayev administration couldn't necessarily rely 100% on the security services and needed the support of the Russians to prop up the backbone of the Kazakhstani security services.
Kazakhstan is as big as Western Europe and is rich in minerals and oil, but increasingly there have been signs its population is tiring of authoritarian rulers. This human rights worker says bringing in so-called peacekeepers from the outside, though, is worrisome.
We've seen an absolute crackdown against civil society in both Belarus and Russia, really unprecedented. And I fear that such a scenario might be in store for Kazakhstan.
Of late, propping up aging authoritarian rulers along his borders has become busy work for Russia's Vladimir Putin. He provided security forces and a political lifeline to Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus, and now it's Kazakhstan's leader that's pleading for help. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
Frontline healthcare workers are feeling the pressure of the Omicron wave firsthand.
Emotionally, I'm completely exhausted, drained. There's days I leave work and I cry.
Coming up, nurses in their own words about what they're seeing and experiencing. Plus,
Sore throat, running nose, stuffy nose, congested, coughing. The cough was probably the worst part.
many people are riding out the virus at home. Coming up, what you need to know to get through it. Welcome back. We've been telling you about the pressure the Omicron variant is putting on hospitals, how it's stretching the system. It's important to remember that system is made up of people, including nurses who are not only dealing with sick patients, but in growing numbers, getting sick themselves. Tonight, 3 nurses share their experiences, exhaustion, and worries with us.
Working through this latest COVID wave has been intense. So basically from Christmas break to now, we've seen a surge with our own staff tested positive with COVID, which is definitely scary.
I am home right now because I have caught COVID-19, the Omicron variant. I believe I caught COVID at my workplace. I actually might have to go into work earlier than expected because of the staff shortages. As long as I'm wearing my PPEs and I'm able to walk and stand and care for patients, I'll be asked to go in. And sometimes, you know, that makes you feel kind of like a robot. That the fact that as a healthcare worker, you're going to have to sacrifice your health a little bit to go in and to maintain the healthcare system.
We are on the uptick and that the spread is starting. My biggest concern is that we have a small pool of highly skilled, good workers, particularly nurses. And right now, those staff are being stretched above and beyond, and I'm concerned about burnout.
My name is Katrina Studney, and I'm a nurse at SHN Centenary Site, which is located in Toronto in the GTA, and I work on the cardiac care ward.
My name is Naveed Hussain. I'm a nurse at the McGill University Health Center in the city of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I work in the psychiatry ward, but I have cared for patients in COVID wards and in internal medicine.
My name is Inez Lewis. I work for the Chiam First Nation in Rosedale, BC, and I'm a registered nurse and health director.
This has been 2 years of this, and we really are at the brink. I already worked 7 12s in 2 weeks. I've added 2 to that, so I've been consistently working 9. I still go in additionally. I came in on Christmas Eve, even when I wanted to be with my family, just to help them out. It's had a huge impact on myself because I'm completely exhausted.
Because so many nurses are catching it, we end up working much harder, right? We're caring for more patients. What happens is our ability to give that care decreases. And that hurts. That hurts us professionally, and that hurts our ability to care for our patients. So, you know, working those long hours and working short staff can be quite detrimental to our physical, our mental, and our spiritual psyche.
The hardest part about this wave is that we're seeing the impacts in community with mental health. We are really worried about the folks and what they need in order to continue on their healing journey. Isolation is really challenging. Some of the important services that we're seeing that we're having to shut down is that human connection that we all need, and particularly in the Indigenous community, the human connections of soft programming such as sports night, cultural nights, healing circles.
What I worry most about right now is my own family. because I have to risk bringing this home to my loved ones, including my elderly parents who are already immunocompromised, as well as my 5-year-old child. 2 years in, and I can't believe we've come basically full circle back to that original first wave and that original unknown.
What keeps me up at night right now is the fact that I feel people are not really understanding the fact that vaccines do work. Vaccines work because they allow symptoms to be mild and not major life-threatening conditions. So I've been vaccinated twice now, and I've caught Omicron, and it did not hit me as hard as it has hit the unvaccinated patients. People who are hospitalized, who might end up being on ventilators and intubated. It's so hard to see people suffering.
Funding for Indigenous healthcare, particularly nursing, has been chronically underfunded before the pandemic. So now that the pandemic is here, those resources are being stretched so far, as well as the staffing, that we've become to find ourselves at a breaking point. And so I think it's time that we put our heads together, particularly with the federal government, to look at these old funding models to see how can we better support services, how can we increase capacity in First Nations communities, and better support nursing to meet the health disparities that the folks are experiencing.
Emotionally, I'm completely exhausted, drained. There's days I leave work and I cry because I know that I haven't provided that care that is expected of not just me by my coworkers and everyone else, but by myself. Like, I feel like I've let myself down some days because I haven't been able to do that. And mentally, people don't realize that we have no visitors right now, like it's a really strict visitor policy. And I've actually held people's hands who had to die alone. That's something that will never leave me. That's something that mentally, I can't even explain to anybody. What I want people out there to know is we're still in this fight. I can tell you firsthand, the vaccine and everything, it works. So people get vaccinated. It's gonna help everyone. It's gonna help your neighbor, your family. It's gonna help nurses like me. It's gonna help the whole system.
A scene that, of course, is being repeated across the country. As more Canadians catch COVID, more people are learning how to manage their symptoms at home. Vicadopia has some tips in case Omicron shows up at your door.
If you wonder if I hate you.
It's how Skyla Sellner started out the year, a positive test and typical symptoms.
Sore throat, running nose, stuffy nose, congested, coughing. The cough was probably the worst part. Lots of blankets.
Skyla is isolating at home, managing best as she knows how.
So I have on this table my Buckleys, which helps tremendously. Tea for my sore throat, and of course lots of water to keep me hydrated and to get rid of that virus.
She still feels miserable and wants to know what else she can do.
Would cold medications, over-the-counter drugs, help with the symptoms at all?
Something like this, for example, an intranasal cortisone, can be very useful for decreasing nasal congestion.
This pharmacist recommends common cold and flu medication, including ibuprofen and acetaminophen, which he says can be alternated every 4 hours to bring down fever. Some doctors prescribe puffers for people with a history of breathing problems.
None of these medications actually resolve the COVID infection, but they have strong evidence for relieving symptoms.
Once symptoms clear, he says wait 30 days for a booster. There's no rush.
Because your antibodies should be pretty high and they should provide you with ample protection.
Hospitals are worried about being overwhelmed by mild COVID patients who may infect others.
For the vast majority of people, you can manage this at home. It's unpleasant and it's uncomfortable, and certainly we appreciate that.
But she stresses if your breathing gets bad, don't hesitate to seek care.
Really, the thing that should drive you to the emergency department with your COVID positive diagnosis is severe chest pain and severe shortness of breath.
To monitor blood and oxygen levels, some hospitals are sending high-risk patients home with pulse oximeters, which you can also buy, though people with darker skin tones may not always get an accurate result. Many emergency departments are also moving to virtual visits to keep an eye on patients while keeping them isolating at home. Vicadopia, CBC News, Toronto.
If you know a student who's learning online, you know how hard that can be. So one former teacher is going back to the classroom.
Hello, grade 4s. How are you?
Coming up, a remote visit brightens the virtual school day. Plus, dreaming of traveling during the pandemic? This Alberta man is taking to the skies every day, all from the comfort of his backyard.
Name the occupation of someone who yells out, quiet.
Whether he's hosting Family Feud in Canada,
So teacher!
or playing a teacher in a sitcom, Gerry Dee knows how to brighten up a room, something he honed from his real-life teaching experience.
I'm awesome. No, you're not, dude.
Of course, Mr. Dee never had to teach during a pandemic, as students and teachers are now slogging through the challenges of remote learning again. So Gerry's offering a hand, giving weary teachers and squirming students a bit of fun.
Who am I? I am
Norman Osborn.
Norman Osborn. That's me, buddy.
And Gerry Dee joins us now from Toronto. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Ian.
So I saw your tweet when it went out yesterday. I saw the reaction roll in. You invited teachers across the country to have you in their virtual classrooms. Where did the idea come from?
It came very spontaneously. I had just set up my own 3 kids with my wife on their own respective remote learning links, and we, passwords were missing, and we probably were scrambling around. And I don't know, having been a teacher for 10 years, I just couldn't help but think how, unfortunate this is again that we're back for kids and teachers in this environment. It's not anything close to what school should be like or is like. And I thought, what a way, maybe give them a little break for a couple minutes and put a smile on their faces. And I really had no idea what to expect. You're always, as a Canadian entertainer, I was like, what if no one answered? And that wasn't the case. And then I couldn't even keep up. I couldn't keep up with I didn't get back to there were just hundreds and hundreds of messages, and I got to as many as I could yesterday and today. I'll probably jump in. I know so many teachers' class schedules right now. It's pretty funny because I could probably jump in for the next week if we're still online. So.
Listen, one of the most humbling experiences I had as a reporter was walking into a classroom in Halifax, actually, and thinking all the kids were going to pay attention to me because I was a reporter and I had the camera operator there with me. They didn't pay attention at all until the teacher told them to. So you know how tough a classroom can be. Were you nervous at all about doing this online stuff?
No, not nervous, and I knew exactly what was going to happen, and it is what happened. That 2 things, very few of the kids knew who I was, so it was just this weird man coming on that the teacher was excited about, and the kids don't talk. So, there was a couple of really cute moments, obviously. The kindergarten kids was priceless. They were guessing what I was, and then once you tell them, or the teacher tells them who I am. But the fun thing is their parents were more excited jumping in the background because they, a lot of them knew who I was. But it was humbling for me too. But I knew that going into it, and I don't expect that a 9-year-old knows who Gerry Dee is.
So speaking of teachers, we reached out to some across the country, teachers and classes that you were part of, and let's listen to what they have to say.
Oh, cool.
Yesterday, I reached out to Gerry Dee after seeing his tweet, and within 20 minutes, he was sitting in the class with my students. Remote learning is off to a great start, thanks to Gerry.
I feel everybody's a little bit disappointed about being online again, but many realize it's the best platform for us to be at this time. I reached out to Gerry because what a better boost to mental health than having a celebrity pop into your classroom for a little bit. The class was awestruck, and we're actually wondering how I pulled it off. So I really want to thank Gerry for boosting our day today.
To be honest, it's just so nice to have someone recognize what a difficult time this is for all educators and offer his own time so willingly to come in and visit. It just brought some joy and some fun and levity into a situation that could be highly stressful.
What do you think, Gerry, listening to those teachers?
Yeah, it's really sweet. It's nice. It's nice to know that, but I got that impression when I exited all the calls too, but it's nice that they took the time to appreciate it. But I knew they did, and I'm glad they did. But what they're doing is, much more than my day and a half of what I did. So I thank them back.
Listen, I think maybe you've started something. I think there are lots of people, maybe even anchors, who can reach out to these classes as well. So congratulations on a great idea, and thanks for doing it.
No, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. And, Yeah, stay safe, everyone. Hopefully we're through this soon.
During the pandemic, some Canadians have been turning to grocery delivery apps, and they may be paying a premium.
I could buy another whole new chunk of butter for $4.
Coming up, a CBC Marketplace investigation into the hidden fees driving up prices. But first, meet the newest member of the NDP. Jagmeet Singh and Gurcharan Kaur Sidhu welcomed a baby girl this week. She was born on Monday. That's a day after Singh's own birthday. The family receiving well wishes from the Prime Minister and the leader of the official opposition. Well, thanks to Omicron, many Canadians are once again staying home when they might have gone out. And to keep the fridge stocked, some are turning to grocery delivery apps. But as we see in this CBC Marketplace investigation, which was shot before some provinces brought in their latest restrictions, that may be costing some shoppers a lot in hidden fees. Asha Tomlinson explains.
When the pandemic hit, I was like, this is even better because now I don't have to go into crowded grocery stores.
Joanne Domenico is a fan of Instacart, an app that enlists a shopper to pick up her groceries and deliver them to her home. But we've discovered the convenience may not be worth the additional hidden costs.
Yes, I would love to get some apples add to cart.
Marketplace went shopping, in-store and on the app, and found out Instacart shoppers who order from Loblaws and Costco are paying about 10% more for their groceries, well beyond the expected delivery and service fees. In the case of Loblaws, we shopped in-store while Domenico shopped online.
All right, what about that 4-berry blend, the cup size? $18.99.
Okay, so we paid $20.85. Wow.
She paid more for almost every item, including this block of butter, which was on sale in-store, but not on Instacart. It amounts to a $4 difference.
I could buy another whole new chunk of butter for $4.
In total, Domenico paid about $74 more for 20 items, $46 in delivery, service fees, taxes, and tip. And $27 went to hidden markups on individual items and missed in-store sales. Those added costs were not detailed on Domenico's bill.
I'm thinking that that's teeth. That's a Caribbean word for being ripped off. So I'm very surprised and I feel misled.
Loblaws and Costco say customers get a better deal when ordering directly from them. Both tell us Instacart keeps all the markup money. And Instacart tells us retailers set the prices on their app. It's up to customers to look up those pricing policies. Asha Tomlinson, CBC News, Toronto.
So that is one grocery delivery app. Marketplace looked at several, and that's not all. The Marketplace team is investigating some other things this week. They're looking at environmentally friendly promises made by meal kit companies. You can tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. on CBC TV and CBC Gem. Coming up, a former recreational pilot has been flying all across the country while staying in his backyard. We'll take you inside his at-home flight simulator next. Traveling during a pandemic can be stressful, not knowing if your flight could be delayed or canceled. But Bob Roberts does not have that problem. The former recreational pilot has been taking to the skies every day in a flight simulator from the comfort of his own backyard. And that is our moment.
I've been fascinated with flights since the age of 5. I used to go up to the airport and watch the 737 first generation fly through the chain link fence until I actually retired 2 years ago. And I started buying the parts and getting the shop ready to actually to install it and make it all a reality. It's a 737 MAX. Every component in it works just like a real MAX. The only difference is it's on the ground. But really a joy to fly. I fly every single day since it's been operational. I've been to Churchill, Manitoba, all over Canada, pretty much. I've taken tons of people's flights. And everybody has the same response that is just amazing, and can't believe I actually put something like this in my backyard. Some people find it scary. I find flying very peaceful. You can do a lot of thinking up there. My favorite place to visit is Hawaii. So pretty soon I'm going to be doing a flight down to Maui and Kauai. I will continue to do this until I can no longer do it.
This is kind of the modern day equivalent of those people who used to, and maybe still do, build those elaborate train sets in their basement. That departure lounge, obviously he built that, bought the flight simulator, connects with other virtual pilots and even virtual air traffic controllers around the world. That is the National for January the 6th. Good night.